Scotland's Education Secretary has condemned a visit to a primary school by a drag queen called Flowjob. John Swinney said the performer quite clearly should not have been invited to address pupils at Glencoats Primary in Paisley. Flowjob was pictured alongside SNP MP Mary Black, who later took to social media to accuse concerned parents of homophobia. Mr. Swinney said an incorrect judgment had been made and lessons have got to be learned, but shied away from directly criticising Ms. Black. The Deputy First Minister said, "I think the whole question of enabling young people to understand LGBT issues is an important element of equipping young people to understand the modern world, and that's an implicit part of the health and well-being element of the curriculum." But quite clearly this was an invitation that should not have been issued, given the background material that had been on the social media account of the individual concerned. "I understand that Renfrewshire Council has apologised for that, and I think that's the correct thing for them to have done." Asked what he thought of Ms. Black accusing online critics of homophobia, he said, "I think what's important is I think parents have raised quite understandable concerns about this matter, which is why it was correct for Renfrewshire Council to express an apology about the fact that this invitation has been issued. The invitation was issued in good faith, because the school was trying to do something which I think is important, and that is to respond to pupil aspirations to understand more about LGBT issues, and I think that is an important hallmark of our society, that young people want to understand that. But, crucially, we have to be sensitive about the invitations that are issued to enable that to be done, and in this case that's not been done, and Renfrewshire Council are therefore quite correct to have apologised for this." Mr. Swinney said his officials had spoken to the council. Ms. Black and Flowjob visited the school as part of LGBTQ History Month. Flowjob, who was introduced to the children as Flo, read pupils a story in drag. It later emerged the performer's social media profile contained sexually explicit material and Renfrewshire Council apologised for the concern this has caused. The SNP's news spin Dr. Murray Foote, a former Daily Record editor, earlier wrote back on a tweet about the row. At 10:22 p.m. last night, he wrote, "I could be wrong, but do thousands of parents not voluntarily take their primary-age kids along to see drag acts in pantomime every Christmas?" 9 hours later, after a wave of online criticism, Mr. Foote issued a clarification. He wrote, "In hindsight, this tweet lacked the necessary qualification around some of the legitimate parental concerns about social media posts. For more on this story, visit the news article link.